Hey everyone, this is Shanta and I'm back today to do a video on how I took out my locks and to kind of answer some questions, it's kind of a vlog, I suppose. I didn't prepare this ahead of time, so of course there will be rambling and I may not exactly remember who said what or who asked what. But I hope you're subscribed and you're listening, so you'll get the answer to your question. First, so this doesn't get too long, how I took out my locks. My tool of choice was this here, which is a letter opener. And surprisingly enough, it says U.S. Probation Office, District of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Don't ask me how this came into my possession. But it has a tip on it, but it's blunt, so it did not rip my hair as I was, going from the bottom. And I have some little random pieces of lock. Now a lot of people use conditioner to take out, in assistance. I've read that people use conditioner, and I did try that, but it ended up being, just adding more mess and didn't really assist me in the takedown process. So I end up just using plain water. So I need to get me some water. See how unprepared I am. But luckily I'm in the bathroom, huh? So, I dip the end in the water, get the water, get it saturated. So I had like a spray bottle that I would use. So let's say this is the end. Take this and we just went like this. Very entertaining, huh? And as you go through this, you may start to see this is a found lock, and I really think this is probably like when I would cut my locks before, I would like keep a piece, and so I think this is like one of those like earlier sections, like when I was still latching. So this is a little difficult, but I still think it's possible for you to be able to pick out hair that has been latched. It's just you have to be a little gentle and kind of working around the knots and the loops that you've created. You're basically picking them out, and as you can see, as the hair as you start to unravel, you see you'll get hair that comes out. I mean, I've had bags of hair. Hair everywhere. It was just like, it's kind of fluff hair. But so this is what I did. If it get dry, wet it again and keep it moving. So this is basically it. You can rotate it around, especially like I said, if you have latched locks, then you would have to kind of rotate around your the loops that you've made. So this here. So as you can see, so it can be done. Seeing this here, it can be done. So that's how I did it. Basically, this and water. And I just took my sweet old dandy time. Like that southern stuff, right? So I've gotten questions about clockwise or counterclockwise, and is there a preferred way to twist locks? And my only thing is, clockwise or counterclockwise, it does not matter. You just should be consistent. So if you decide to twist your locks counterclockwise, then you need to remember to always do them counterclockwise no matter what position you're in. And if you were to go and have your hair done by a professional or, you know, someone else, let them know that your locks are twisted counterclockwise. Although once they start to go clockwise, I think they should start to see that your hair is twisted counterclockwise. But, you know, they may be so into what they do, they just may continue doing it clockwise because that's how they feel the hair should be done. And then you may lead into, you know, then you go back to doing it counterclockwise. It could just take a while, I think, for the hair to lock in that instance. But I don't think anything particularly detrimental will happen. But like I said, it just may take a little bit longer for the hair to lock. So consistency is the key. I know some people do clockwise for certain reasons. You know, I mean, everything has a vibe, and you know, and to certain people could have a hidden or alternative message in it. So you know, so people would always equate clockwise with positive, counterclockwise with negative. So, you know, twisting their hair in a clockwise fashion is you know, infusing positive vibes. You know, maybe that could be a personal reason for some, but then it could be if you're right-handed or left-handed. Maybe if you're left-handed, it's easier for you to do counterclockwise. I don't know. I'm right-handed, so I don't know. So I always twisted my locks clockwise. Other questions: stuff in the locks, gook in the locks. Every time a person washes their hair, there is like this white stuff, and basically that is product buildup. Or, you know, if you're using a product that when you twist it makes that kind of white consistency, those products usually require heat for them to melt into your hair. Now if you have something that, you know, it's giving you this kind of white cast while the hair is wet, I would be very what's the term, not scared, but, you know, apprehensive about it, because in the long run I think that would lead to buildup. That's why I, you know, at the most I would use towards, you know, once I started learning some things about my hair, it would be aloe vera gel, setting lotion, which is liquid setting lotion like Lotta Body, or honey and aloe vera gel, things that just did not create any kind of buildup or were easy to wash out. You want whatever it is that you use, that if you, you know, pass some on your hands, how easy is it to wash it off of your hands? You know, or do you feel like your hands is coated? You know, do you feel like there's a residue? That's some things that you can be mindful of with your products. How clean do they rinse away? Because a lot of us do not spend the proper amount of time rinsing our hair when we wash our hair, you know, because if you're standing in the shower or if you're leaning over your tub or your sink, you want to get it done as quickly as possible. But really there needs to be, you know, on those first rinses, as hot as you could stand it, and you know, some attention given to really, you know, scrubbing. Afterwards you could do, you know, a cool rinse or something like that to seal cuticles and to infect some shine. But for the most part, I think with us home stylers, one of our biggest thing is not really washing our hair as long as we should. And I would say I'm guilty of that too. You know, I definitely probably did not spend the amount of time that I should have, and that's why I did not use butters or gels or things like that, you know, as much as possible, because I didn't want to run into build-up issues. Let's see, we're at about 9, so I'm probably gonna cut this one off here now because I don't want it to be too long. But in recap, so I took out my locks in May. I used a letter opener and water. Water was my best friend in this process, and it just took a lot of patience. Patience to take your time so that you do not end up ripping out your hair. Okay, so I will be back. Maybe I'll do another one later on today. you know, finishing up any more questions that I may have. Until then.